Hey everyone, welcome back to History Discussion, a channel where we dive deep into moments that shaped not just America, but the world. I'm glad you're here for tonight's episode. My channel will broadcast every evening at 8:30 p.m. every day. Today, we're marking a day most Americans probably don't even realize is significant, June 5th, 1911. That's when Ho Chi Minh, at just 21 years old, left the port of Na Rong on a journey that would ultimately challenge not only colonial France but the might of the United States. Think about it. At 21, most people today are still figuring out college or asking their parents for cash. But Ho Chi Minh had already begun to see the world, and the experiences he gathered gave him an incredibly sharp perspective on global politics. And that foresight, it let him predict international moves years, sometimes decades, before they happened. Take 1954 after the epic Vietnamese victory at Dien Bien Phu, a battle that shook the world and brought France to its knees. While everyone else was celebrating, Ho Chi Minh warned his top military leaders, "Don't get comfortable." The US was already starting to intervene in Indochina, and Ho knew that once the French lost their grip, America would step in. So, while others were celebrating, he told his commanders to start preparing to face us, the United States. It all unfolded exactly as he'd anticipated. But Ho Chi Minh's strategic vision didn't stop there. He predicted that fighting America would be way tougher than fighting the French, especially because of our overwhelming air power and advanced military technology, especially the B-52 bombers. As early as 1962, a full decade before our B-52s bombed Hanoi, Ho was already warning his people. He once questioned Colonel Phung the Thai, a top air defense officer, about the B-52s, putting him on the spot. The man was clearly caught off guard. That's how ahead of the curve Ho was. Fast forward to a spring night in 1968. Ho Chi Minh, now in declining health but still razor sharp, calls Phung the Thai, by then a deputy chief of staff, into a meeting and again brings up the B-52s. Ho insisted it was just a matter of time before the US would unleash those flying fortresses over Hanoi. He explained that we Americans had used air power to devastate Pyongyang during the Korean War, and he was certain we'd try the same tactic in Vietnam. "You'll only beat America in the skies over Hanoi," Ho told his commanders. The job of preparing for that, he left squarely on their shoulders, and as history proved, he was right. By the end of 1972, the US had launched the Linebacker II campaign, sending wave after wave of B-52s over Hanoi. But instead of breaking Vietnamese morale, our bombers ran into unexpectedly fierce resistance. The Vietnamese, using relatively simple MiG-21 fighters and Soviet SAM-2 missiles, shot down multiple B-52s, aircraft that were considered the pride of American aerospace engineering. This raised a question the world still debates today. How did a country with such limited resources manage to defeat a superpower's best weapons? While Western analysts and journalists wrote thousands of articles and books trying to explain this, for the Vietnamese the answer was simple. They credit their victory to Ho Chi Minh's genius, foresight, and ability to inspire a whole nation. Let's pick up where we left off. So how did Ho Chi Minh make those predictions that seemed to come true, again and again? One of the most striking examples came during Vietnam's 15th National Day celebration, September 2nd, 1960. In his speech, Ho Chi Minh told the entire nation that, with unity and perseverance, the Vietnamese people would reunify the country within 15 years. He emphasized the phrase, even circling "at the latest" in 15 years in his notes. Yet, he didn't read that line out loud. Many believe he did this to motivate his people, to urge everyone not to just sit and wait for victory, but to fight for it together. And as if scripted, exactly 15 years later in the spring of 1975, the North Vietnamese army launched the historic Ho Chi Minh campaign. Within weeks, Saigon fell, and Vietnam was finally united as one country. For many Vietnamese, this wasn't just the result of strategy or military might. It was proof of Ho Chi Minh's visionary leadership and the determination he inspired in his people. Historians and military experts, including Dr. Lê Tham Duong, have pointed out that if you look at probability theory and historical odds, A victory like this might only happen once in 1,000 years. And yet, that's exactly what happened. The question remains, how did a nation with fewer resources, facing one of the most powerful armies on Earth, achieve such a historic victory? Let's circle back to Ho Chi Minh's foresight. When he told his commanders to brace for American intervention, he wasn't just thinking about battlefield tactics. He saw the entire geopolitical chessboard, understanding that the US would escalate its involvement after the French left. He knew that our Air Force and flying fortresses, the B-52s, would be the cornerstone of American power in Vietnam, and that it would take more than bravery to face them. It would require ingenuity, discipline, and above all, the will to outlast and outthink a technologically superior enemy. Ho's approach was not about meeting force with force alone. Instead, it was about anticipating moves, preparing defenses in advance, and inspiring the population to endure the unimaginable. His leadership didn't just shape battle plans, it changed the mindset of an entire generation, uniting them under a single purpose. When the US launched the Christmas bombing campaign, Operation Linebacker II in late 1972, our military believed the power of the B-52s would force Hanoi to capitulate. But what we encountered was a defense prepared for years, a network of anti-aircraft missiles, clever tactics, and soldiers determined not to break. The results stunned the world. For the first time, American B-52s fell from the sky over Hanoi. This campaign became a turning point in both military strategy and world opinion. The Vietnamese saw it as validation of Ho Chi Minh's predictions and proof that with the right vision, even the strongest technology could be overcome by human will and determination. As we look back, it's important for Americans to reflect. What really gave the Vietnamese the edge? Was it sheer luck, superior strategy, or something more intangible, like unity and a leader's vision that rallied a nation? So, here's what we'll tackle in the next episode. How did Vietnamese forces overcome America's advanced technology? And what lessons did both sides learn from this clash? Follow the History Discussion channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.